I'm Nick, folks.
And we're the Panderers. Yep.
That's us, folks.
We
Unity.
we mean what we say when it's factual, and when it's not factual, we don't really mean it at all.
Say what we mean.
Mm-hmm. And
unless it's mean, then we didn't say it.
Yeah. We're never going to call anybody out directly unless they already know it's coming. And
if a name actually applies to a real name in real life, it's a joke. This is a fictitious podcast. Nothing like this really happened-ish.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's other warnings and stuff, but they're below or above or around.
Over 21. Do it. Over 21.
Over 21, yeah.
All right, we covered everything. Episode over. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
We say dirty words.
Ooh.
Like cock, penis, balls, dick. All of those.
Got them all out right out in the open. Right there. Cut me to the floor.
I have to say, on that note, we've been demonized. I mean, demonetized. Both of them probably.
Demonized as well.
Yeah. So none of the moment I post a video, it says I can't make any money on it. And I stress I, as in we. I feel personally attacked.
Wait. Is that so?
I don't know how their algorithm. Damn it! I didn't do my tongue twister. Their algorithm works. I still can't do it. But I don't know if it's an actual person that goes in and like listens to it and goes like, "Yeah, no, I don't think these guys are. They're not going to be what."
Let's prove them wrong or right.
Yeah.
In fact, if you want to help prove them right, keep watching and saying they're right.
Yeah, and so to follow up, there's a precursor talk that I wanted to bring up. So being demonetized means that we pretty much need to move away from this platform. It's just a means of storing the video. So we're gonna eventually have our own podcast that is just audio.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
especially as we get older and uglier. Wow, this is genius.
What's the tipping?
I'm freaking out, so I don't know if that's called puberty or what, but you know.
Yeah, I have a second child coming, so as soon as that happens, I think
the bags under the eyes will be coming in there.
Yeah,
I'll probably have to get a haircut and look like I joined the military. It all makes sense.
It certainly does.
You are pretty lucky. You're hearing history.
This is the beginning of part of the end of the beginning.
I'm Panderers.
Yeah,
we're starting up right here, guys. You're seeing us in the pre phase right now. Mm-hmm. And if you are, you're kind of lucky. It's like you're seeing a dinosaur birthed into a regular bird.
It's growing feathers as you watch. It comes out like an ugly emu.
Plumage coming out of us. Mm-hmm.
What are those little fuzzy feathers that they have?
Yep. When you get out of bed.
You can hear them running. I hear a little like pitter patter.
Yeah.
Is he directly above you?
My coworker, he thinks he plays jokes on people. He's still being played. We can get into that later.
He's still dating the...
He's about a week away from his gorgeous supermodel porn star girlfriend coming back from Africa back to the United States to date him. She just needs some more money.
It's a Napoleon Dynamite special right there.
Oh wait, yeah, she's really going to come back and be real. I'm so sorry. But he really got a friend of his one time, or a fellow coworker back in the day. He said, "What do I hear?" And then he says, "I'll tell your girlfriend, the panter of feet." And I was like,
"Panter?
What did you do now?" And he says, "Ha ha! I really got him. I told him he'll hear pantering feet." And I was like, I don't know how did you get them? Is this a joke? And he goes, they're going to have a baby, panter feet. And I said, the pitter patter of little feet? And he said, that's it. I got him real good. And I was like, no, dude, you didn't get anyone. It's not pantering.
You didn't know the joke.
It's pitter patter. There's no joke there. You didn't get anything. It makes me so mad. He's the only person in the world who makes me mad.
I gotcha.
And he says that. He's always getting me. And I'm always like, God, you got me.
Does he ever say...
He thinks he gets me.
Does he ever say that you got me, though? Does he ever, admit that he...
No, he won't admit it. He won't admit when he's wrong. Like, he gets the wrong item, and I'm like, you've been working here for a year, dude. This is a 46 Super. It's over here. And he goes, that's right. I was right next to it, though. I almost got it. And I'm like, he's still trying to get credit. And I'm like, you were wrong. And he's like, but then I got it the second time. And he's like smiling. And I'm like, yep.
He's a mentally slow narcissist.
He's so narcissistic. Yeah. Someone would be like, how can you hate him? He's so, he has issues. And I'm like, I hate his guts.
He's always telling you he told you, Nick.
He is always telling me. And I'm like, you can't pitter patter feet. Your girlfriend's fake.
What if he's like a Rolo Tomasi? Wait, what's that?
What if it's a long con and he's really he's just playing foolish?
Exactly. This woman turns out to be a supermodel, and then he's like,
these people have no idea.
He peels the skin away, and he's Tom Brady. And you're like, no. How did you play in the Super Bowl? And
how did you do that?
Wow.
He's like, I just got it.
He walks off into the sunset
with 2 supermodels from Africa, one on each arm,
covered in oil, and them sliding all over the place.
No, whatever. Not gonna lose any sleep over it.
Yeah.
Not gonna get into it any further. Pinter patter of little feet, or whatever you want to pretend. The pantering feet.
Do you have any corrections or clarifications from last time? I don't know.
Yeah, I said I use Suave. I use Pert for my hair.
Pert Plus or just Pert?
I'm making this up. I actually use Suave. God damn.
I used to use Pert
trying
Plus.
To make a correct. Did you?
When I was like a 5-year-old.
You didn't buy stuff when you were 5, did you?
But I chose.
Oh, Mama, I need Pert Plus. Although Pert Plus was it was a big ticket item back then.
It was a solid purchase, yeah. I think that's what the family used. I think we had one bottle, squirted out of it.
How did that work growing up in your house? Was it
which part of it?
Like shampoos and soaps? I feel like they've come a long way in the past 20 to 40 years.
I will say this, that
like, did everyone use one back in the day? Because I can't remember 100%, but I feel like maybe there was like a mommy soap, a daddy soap, and then like everyone's shampoo, and then a conditioner that no one else used, but maybe like the women. I don't know. Is that a thing?
I think so. There was
makes sense, right?
Pert Plus and Selsun Blue.
Oh, that was for little flakes down there. Yeah.
And then when I was like 12 or 13, Head and Shoulders came around, so I started using that.
Head and Shoulders, that was a good one.
And that one stuck. And the revelation in my mind was when my wife brought her conditioner, and it's like a special conditioner called like Awapui or something like that.
Sure. It's all fancy. It's got weird
keratin cream rinse.
Yeah.
And like side by side, you had like Tresemme conditioner versus this stuff, and like Tresemme felt like you could feel like the grittiness on your hand after touching the Awapui one, and the Awapui one is just like you feel like a model the moment you put it in your hair. You can't get it off of you. It like glistens.
Hers?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's when my hair came down to here.
Whoa,
So, you can feel it. You really know what's good.
When you grow your hair out, you notice things differently. I will say that.
Yeah, you have to like push the hair out of your eyes first before you can see them.
The amount of time it takes to dry. There's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, there's some concerns. Like if you don't set it up right on the drive to work, then you're gonna have like a wet mess. Yeah,
true.
Lost their male audience there, unless they have long hair.
All the women were tuned in, though.
Yeah, they're focused.
Well, they've probably been tuned in since we dropped that women episode. We're extremely pro women, as this was clearly obvious.
I love women.
Hell yeah, we do.
So what?
Hello.
Got like a little, let me see, smirk or smile maybe?
Nope.
I have a minor one. I started watching this, it's like Indian war epic movie called Baahubali. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
No? It's literally like this.
Is it Bollywood?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's over the top.
One of the bigger ones?
Yeah, it's huge. Okay. And it's actually has decent CGI. It's like comical CGI, but it has CGI.
Right.
You can follow along.
It's not the one with the guy with all the guns, is it?
No. This guy is like a medieval warrior, in his like family line is like a mixture of like super strong god types that are like inheriting the earth while being like moral and all sorts of stuff and kind.
Good, kindly, godlike folk.
Yeah.
God-like folk.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And then it has all sorts of comic battles where like it's like comically done, but the actors are serious about it. And my wife pointed out, and I think she nailed it perfectly. She said it's like Home Alone. Like he sets up all the traps, and like they're like comically placed, but you like that they're happening, so you're just enjoying watching them.
It's entertainment, very good entertainment,
and it's continuous entertainment, and it's massive sets and lots of people, so it's like your eyes are constantly like trying to figure out like.
Listen, sometimes the plot does get in the way. Well, think of it. If you're not going to have an A+ plot and like really good writing and all that, like what if it was just C+, B- material, and then you're trying to make an action movie with all that? Like if you just cut out the B-, because I don't care if it's an okay plot or whatever, it could be crappy plot. It could be just whatever plot. It's the action, and then you spend all the extra money focusing on the intent of the movie, then go for it.
Yeah. Plus, this Baahubali movie, it was all in Hindi. So, like, I couldn't really follow it along.
Subtitles anyway, or no?
Yeah, subtitles. So I wasn't really like reading them, but like you could tell exactly what was happening just based on the situation.
Sure, it's a love story. Someone betrayed someone. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was my smile. It's like it was actually good, and it was recommended by a woman in my office, and like I think Reddit was like, check out this movie, and I'm like, okay,
interesting.
I'll do what you say.
I'd check that out. Do you ever watch other movies that are like other languages and all that, and like foreign films?
God, no.
Like, do you ever do Kung Fu Hustle?
Maybe a long time ago. That's really old, right?
Yeah,
2001.
Like there are certain, roughly, 2001-ish, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to. There are some movies that are like the top tier movies from other countries. Like, go for it. Like, check it out. Did you ever do Run Lola Run?
Yeah, I did, actually. That's also
good. Very good one. It's dated at this point. It's probably 2001-ish.
Yeah. The ones I don't really like are like if you go old-timey movies.
Old-timey's different because I was just talking to someone about this the other day. They're shot so different. Like, the scenes are like 4 minutes long before they change camera cuts. Like, you know what I mean? Now it's like, I need a camera cut every 8 seconds or else I'm like, what the hell is going on? Somebody fall asleep here? And I need like whooshing sound effects and like and like boom.
They attach a defibrillator before you start the movie.
Yeah. I need my adrenaline pumping during every scene, even like the boring scenes. Someone's pouring a cup of coffee, but it's like right in the camera. It's like
like a nice spray.
Yeah, it's got to be like beautiful and artistic and thought-provoking all at once. Every shot in every scene.
It's got every emotion going. They're like probing your brain.
In every scene. Whereas like an old movie, they're like, well, just we're moving the plot along. Have Humphrey Bogart talking to the camera for a few minutes. Like, you know what I mean? What an amazing actor. People are like, me, I'm like, come on. We need someone to die. I need something crazy to happen. I want a camera on a crane, lowered at 100 miles an hour, zoomed in on his face. It's just different watching those movies.
Yeah, and you know there's no CGI and there's nothing they could do to make it really dramatic.
Right. Well, it's almost like telling someone who's 7 years old now to play a game from like 1999 or 2000. Like trust me, get past the graphics, and you're gonna love Mario Brothers 2. Like they're not gonna sit there and play it. I mean, I think the game holds up for us, but for them, you literally take away all the graphics, all the directional, all the freedom, all the cool controls, all the design aspects, and you're like, just check it out. Hear me out. Oh, Super Mario 2 is probably like 92. Okay.
No.
What?
Nintendo 64. When did that come out?
96. Probably 96. What?
Yeah. Oh,
wait, 64?
N64?
Yeah, it came out what year?
I was thinking about the first game that did 3D, and it was Super Mario on N64, right?
Was? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that makes sense.
I remember watching it in a Blockbuster. In any direction.
Whoa! Yeah. Blockbuster.
You could run around and
jump.
A lot
of them around.
Good times. That was groundbreaking. And it was actually well done, too. You were adjusting your glass.
I was adjusting my glass, but I wonder if stuff was more well done because there were fewer options. Like, there weren't 40 games being developed back then. There's probably like 12.
Yeah, and
at that time.
I think it was back then. I wasn't sure if gaming consoles would survive, so it was like make or break for these guys.
Right. It's fewer products at higher quality.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's like any one person who's good at a game has a team of people, and they're making a game for Activision or so-and-so or this company, and there's like 18 companies, and they all just try and poach people and make a game real quick that's flashy and awesome.
Yeah, get your Call of Duty 13 in the bundle for $832.
Right. Oh, dude, is that what it? Hold on, tell the audience what you saw.
So
that's a good quote.
Yeah, the Steam bundle for Call of Duty has everything that ever existed for Call of Duty, and
every Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
every single one. Every downloadable content. They had 4, 5, Black Ops 2,
Infinity or something.
Call of Duty, Infinity Wars, Infinity this, and Call of Duty. Every downloadable content for every game, yours for a super low price. If you buy now.
$832, 10% discount.
You're losing money not to.
Yeah.
$832, Mom. I need your credit card.
Can't believe the games hold. There's no way it holds its price like that. I can't believe
not at
the
all.
first one. No, the first one's got to be free by now. You think?
So hold on. What do you think your price point is for someone to sell those games to you? Keep in mind you're not getting physical copies, so you have to either download this. So you need the hard drive space for all these games.
It's like a terabyte of space.
Right, for games that you may or may not play. Like, my actual enjoyment value for those games and that series and that everything and how much I'd really use it.
It'd be the same game over and over again almost.
So, wait, so do you know what my number is? $80, $60, somewhere in there. I would buy all of them for that much.
That's
and
like
even that's pushing it.
It's like hacking a game system. It's like a Dreamcast. You could load it with every game Dreamcast ever had. And like people would pay like $100 for it, and they just like
and play different games and just go for it.
It's almost like you spin a dial and just like randomize the game.
How is that possible? Dreamcast had it built into the system.
I guess it was easy to hack.
But still, I'm very confused. Oh, so then you could download files for the game online?
Yeah, you can download one big batch file. Yeah,
the internet. Okay.
The internet, because that is the beginning of the internet, right?
Yeah, you could do it with PlayStation 1, right?
I don't.
If you cracked games, I think so. There was a way. I mean, I knew of people who did it. In fact,
I think Xbox broke it
college, too. Yeah, I know that. But I think my roommate had a jailbroke PlayStation 1 or something. It was old as crap at the time, so I don't think we played it. But
it's always well after they were popular. Like, it takes them like 2 or 3 years to break it, at least.
Right.
The
systems also lasted longer back. Well, I don't know.
Well, like the retail availability of N64 is 96 to 2003. So, like that's
a long
7
time.
years.
That's a real long time.
Especially
now, hold on. Do you think it was viable in 2003 though, or do you think for like the past 3 years it was shadowed by PlayStation and was it X? Well, what came after 64? So PlayStation, Xbox,
Cube,
GameCube.
I think GameCube was the next one. I think I picked up a GameCube in right before I went to college.
Which Nintendo products did you buy?
I think I bought
systems.
So I got.
Did you get a Wii?
I got a Wii.
Oh, you would.
Yeah, I actually went through a friend's mom who picked it up like Christmas Eve or something, and I paid $400 for it.
Damn.
It was
I guess
revolutionary at the time.
Right.
But then I don't know. It faded. Like, it was good for a year because everyone wanted to play and figure out how the motion sensors work.
And motion sensors. Play the sports game. Play the sports game.
How to bowl. Let's bowl.
Did anything ever get better than the sports games that it came with?
Really, no.
That's a damn shame. They didn't take advantage of anything.
So there's too much time involved in actually figuring out how that stuff works. So the developers just kind of like, okay, let's use the stock sword swing.
Right. The sword swing, the whatever swing.
Yeah. But that was the last one I bought. But I pretty much bought every system before that.
So you bought Cube and 64 and Super and regular.
I had a Game Boy. Nintendo Game Boy? Is that Nintendo? Yeah, and then I had the DS.
You got the DS?
Uh-huh. I was on... that was my first co-op in Florida when I was like a freshman or sophomore in college. I had nothing to do, and I didn't want to like buy a system to hook it up to the person's TV because I live in like with a bunch of people. So I just bought my own handheld thing, and I was doing my own thing.
Nice. That's not bad.
Independence. That and my acoustic guitar.
It's the one that's back there?
Yeah, it's one of those back there.
Look at that. Look at that. Some things last, huh?
Yeah. Well, my DS is over there somewhere.
Still play it every night. Mm-hmm.
That's the sad thing with the gaming systems is that they have like you keep them around because you spend so much money on them, but they die. Like the last time I turned on the Wii, it was just to make sure that it still ran, and that was like 3 years ago. Everything technology.
I argued this with everyone. Someone's like, the best is if you go on nowadays. Here, I'll put it this way. This is a big argument I don't have because I don't argue with people online, but I see it all the time. Mm-hmm. The new thing about buying video games, it even happens with my friends who grew up in our age bracket. I think it happens with you son of a gun. It's someone goes, is this game worth $60? And they say it about a lot of games that come out. And don't get me wrong, I don't know. What were Sega games capped at? $40?
I think they were easily $40, yeah.
Right. PlayStation games were like 40 to 50. I think they were 40 as well.
Yeah.
I think the first games that made like 50 or 60 were probably Xbox games. Yeah, I feel like Halo could have been 40 or 50 or I don't think it was 60, was it?
They've always been from 40 to 60 in my memory.
Right, in your lifetime. And sometimes you buy a game, you don't know how it's going to be. You love it for a day or a week, and it's over. I mean, sometimes you play it for 4 years. I don't know. My thing is, a night of heavy drinking at like a place that sells expensive beers. Mm-hmm. If you bought 6 expensive beers at a place, which I guess I don't do anymore either, you spent like $6 a pop, like on a nice brew or whatever.
You get a nice meal and a couple beers. That's a video game.
You literally played for the whole video game, and that meal disappears next time you shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Literally flush it down the toilet.
Literally flushing $60. Whereas I see people argue all the time. They're like, "Oh, this video game was really cool. I like the graphic design. Multiplayer was really cool, but I feel like the DLC won't live up to the $60 hype that everyone's making it out to be." And like, I read some of this stuff, and I'm like, people turned into elitist assholes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I get it. There is a price point. It makes sense. I'm not even arguing with whether they're right or not. It's just like I look and someone's like, I refuse to spend $60 on it when I know in 19 months it'll be down to $22 and on sale. And I'm like, again, they're right. It probably will.
It's always the argument of like entertainment dollar per hour. If you play a game for 10 hours, $6 an hour is not absurd. Yeah, and that's a shitty game like that you would
right.
Yeah.
Right. If you spend like 30 to 40 hours on a game, what is that per hour? That's literally
it's like $2 an hour.
Not much at all.
Less than that, yeah.
So I mean, it's not that bad. Especially compared to again the nice dinner where you're drinking and shitting it out. Like I don't know, it's just weird that and it happens in video games a lot because like the new thing, not new, but because everyone's connected to the internet at all times, it's I'm thinking of getting it, but I want to really see the reviews.
You're trying to, feel the water. How warm is this? They always put their toe in the water and be like, meh.
Right. And then, I'm going to hold off on this one. I'm looking at these games, which are coming out in a few months. I think they're going to have really good reviews. And ironically, I'm not actually talking about you.
Yeah.
So it's not available.
Because there's a game coming out, right?
No, there's... You dabble in this sometimes.
On the cheap value of things?
Yes, but that's more your value.
That's more also time based because there's only one game I can really play loosely over the course of a month or two.
I understand. We both bought No Man's Sky. That was great.
Yeah, and I did play the shit out of that game.
I did. Have you played it recently?
No, I don't imagine it could have gotten better.
It got a lot better.
Really?
Now, better doesn't mean it's great. They did a lot to it to change it and make it actually. It's actually, if it came out like it did now, I would have played it more. Like it's almost too late now. I don't know. I don't feel like dedicating time to it.
Yeah. Well, I did a lot to get to like the max level. I think it is like get the best ship. Yeah, but it was
Did you get to the center or anything?
I got to I don't know if I got to the center of the universe, but I went to like most of the those floating castle things. You know what I'm talking about? The pyramid.
Yeah.
I think that was almost the pinnacle of the game, and yet the most disappointing part of the game because the visually was amazing. Yeah.
The problem with that game was procedural generated. Like the whole point of it was how diverse it was and crazy, weird, and random it was, so that there's no progression. The progression is the most disappointing thing in the whole game.
Yeah, you could go to one planet that's right there, and the next island it's completely different, but you could tell that it's like one of like 3 completely different options.
Right.
By the time you see the 4th planet,
right. You've kind of seen it all after you figure out what you've seen and what you haven't.
The problem is, so I want to make a video game, and part of the planning is that like everything has an effect. So it's like a watershed. So there's like a watershed, a food shed. Everything that you do has an effect. But in that game, nothing you did ever had an effect. You could leave and come back to the same spot, and it would be exactly as you found it. So like there's no water. There's no like streams. There's no gathering of animals by streams. There's no real population anywhere. There's nobody trying to do tasks.
In their defense, 8 to quadrillion planets with animals and lives each, it would be hard to keep track of all the streams, animal populations, and habitats.
Yeah.
But that's not on us, the viewer, the game player. That's on them for making 8 trillion planets.
Yeah, they could have had just maybe like 1,000 planets, and that probably would have sufficed.
They probably would have, and they could have diversified and gotten deeper.
That's the wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle.
Right. Exactly. They went as wide as maybe humanly possible in a game.
Yeah, and that's the Sea of Thieves. That's what people are saying, but I would like to say the Sea of Thieves is a little better.
Because that one's based on fun.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
There's something inherently interesting and relaxing about it that makes me think about it when I'm not trying to think about anything. It just makes its way in there.
The Kraken? Have you seen the Kraken?
I saw the tentacle coming over the ship.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, whatever. Again, it could be the corniest thing in the world. That's why they only show you 1 second of it. It could be. It could be the awesomest thing. I don't know.
It's like Macaulay Culkin's face or something on it. Yeah. But I do believe that the pass, there's an Xbox pass that covers the PC for $10, and you get a free trial too, 2-week free trial. I'm going to jump on that to use it on Sea of Thieves if I can.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get deep into that.
Because it's not worth $60. Huh?
I don't think it's worth $60 right now, but I think one of the things they did right is the base game. It does it right. Like it feels good, it looks good.
Right. Okay.
It's got the elements there that make it possible that it could be a much better game.
Right. Okay. I could see that. It has the very possibility of turning into something pretty awesome. Cool.
It has the essence. Yeah.
Right. Stuff's in place. We'll see.
Yeah. I really want
to. Thieves fans here, join our swashbuckling crew here.
I wish you could have a fleet. You got a fleet of ships attacking another fleet of ships.
I saw 3 ships sailing harmoniously in a YouTube video.
I don't believe that.
The clip was 18 seconds long, so
they attacked each other right after.
Right. Well, but they didn't right away. So the point is, they waited at least 20 seconds till someone broke ranks.
That's the fun. Now, you can imagine that whole situation. You just say one sentence, and you're right there, and you understand exactly what's going on.
Now, if your friends all did solo jobs and could join the same server, you could do it, I guess?
Yeah, you could.
I guess there's no way to guarantee you're in the same server.
I bet they randomize it so you're never together.
Why not? I don't see why they'd hate for you guys to be together.
I wonder if you could...
I saw a video of someone got 700 chickens onto their ship. It was 700. Now, they're in cages, but, it covers the whole... It's hilarious.
Wow. That's going to be glitchy. No way.
If they sunk the ship, they would have lost everything. So they were avoiding people and just piling chickens on.
I want to find that ship and attack it. That's what...
Well, so they showed what happens when it sinks. When it sinks, all the cages with their chickens sink, and then when the ship is gone, they slowly float back to the surface in the same shape of the ship. but it was like near glitching the game because it was so many items in one spot, like doing the thing. It was pretty funny looking. Anyway,
yeah.
The basis of what I was saying is that many people now are so driven by, I will say, capitalism and
progression,
the IGN effect.
What's the IGN? The ratings?
Oh yeah, I think someone could play a game.
That's like the IMDb effect.
Right, you like it, and then you read the IGN review, and it was like pretty corny, pretty shallow, 4.2 out of 10, and everyone's like, yeah, it sucked. And then you, who liked it, you're like, yeah, it wasn't that good. You're right. I think that's a thing.
I'll say, I watched. Have you seen Black Panther?
No, I didn't see it.
It's
getting good reviews.
Yes, and the cultural aspect is really interesting, and I like the colors and the visuals. The plot is the same standard plot that they apply to like almost every Marvel movie.
Right, I imagined that. I didn't actually think it was groundbreaking.
Yeah. No, they're hailing the unique all-black cast, which that's fine.
It's a new lens.
Yeah, it's a different way to look at things, and it's enjoyable to watch. And I like the...
Now, was it one of the better done Marvel movies?
I'd say it's about average. Somewhere in the middle.
They're all good. I don't think they're bad.
Was Captain America Marvel?
Your favorite one? Yeah, Captain America was.
I enjoyed that one.
Everyone says, I think Guardians.
Garden Guy. Yep, I like that one too.
Okay. And one other one that everyone talks about is
Thor,
one of the best.
Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. I don't see movies.
You should see that one because it's comedic.
Visual.
In all parts, it's comedic. Okay. Yeah.
I'll give you a shot.
It's this. Yeah. There's multiple parts where, it's good comedy. It's solid comedy. I'm not trying to plug it. I just enjoyed it.
Okay. That's fair. I'd give it a shot.
I rewatched it probably like 2 times, just casually. Just like, I'll just put it on because I look over, I laugh a little bit, and chuckle.
All right, I'm down with that. By the time these things hit DVR and straight to HBO and all that, that's when I usually get around to it.
Mm-hmm. Redbox? You don't have a Redbox near you?
I do. Doesn't it cost money?
$1.
Wait, is it $1 a movie?
$1.50, I think, for DVD.
Now, do you have to have a membership?
No.
Really?
Yeah, you've never used a Redbox?
No, not once. They have one in my supermarket.
You've never stopped and clicked through it?
I don't even know. I've never used it. I thought you had like a membership or something. I thought it was like RedTube to go.
That'd be great. It's just a machine that has a hole down the bottom.
That's whatever you want on the screen. And there's a curtain that can go around your waist. Go to town, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Excuse me, ma'am. That's a red box. I know, pervert. And she's like 86. She's telling you to get the hell out of the way. She's busy. She's rocking that red box.
Or there's an old man like pulling off of the next one. He's like, "This one's the best."
Oh yeah.
Demonized we are. Oh boy, that'd be great. No, I think those actually exist. I think they're. Have you ever gone to a porn store and then gone to the theater? Like they usually have like a little mini theater.
I know they always talk about them. I've never been to the theater part. Do they all have them? They don't all.
No, all have them, but the ones I think when Rochester had one, and like you could like the moment it's just like this like not a stench, but it's like humidity.
No, that's got to be a stench.
It's got. I mean,
that stuff's.
Whatever they spray in there kills the stench and changes it into something else. But like you know immediately not to sit down. Don't put your hands on anything. You're not going to step any further in. I wish there was a attendant. I told you that. So hold on. Legally, are you allowed to pound off? If no one sees you, if a tree falls in the woods.
No. But I'm saying, what are they officially for in this porn store?
So, like, new moms can breastfeed in public, right? As long as you have a sheet on top of.
Sure.
If you had a sheet over you. You could do whatever you wanted in there, right?
Town?
It's my private areas.
I think one's different because one helps another human being live, and the other kills millions and billions of future human beings. You know what I mean?
It's a political issue.
It could be.
Yeah.
It very much probably is a political issue when you think about it. No. At like the porn store, I really want to go over this. So the back room is for what in their official statement?
creepers.
No. In their official
It
statement.
was previewing movies that you're wanting to rent or buy, which I think is less than rent. I think it's more than buy.
Okay. So they're saying, before you buy it, check it out back here in this room where it's...
This is
I don't know how
age
the
of the
setup
internet.
is either. Is there plexiglass? Like 3 things of plexiglass? And like...
No, it's like a theater
reception?
with like maybe like 10 seats in it. It like pretends to be a movie
theater. Oh.
It pretends to be a theater.
So who plays the movie?
I didn't get that far into it. There was a movie playing.
I have a lot of questions. That's all.
We can take a trip back to that one, if it still exists.
I'm sure it does.
We can figure out how the buttons on the VCR work, and then we can go to town. Rochester.
So you go in there.
Yeah.
Are people just pounding away loudly?
There's always one person in the corner up at the front that you don't want to. There's a plane. There's a vertical plane that you don't want to cross because you don't want to see what's going on.
The seat's really high, like he could be. I don't know. I can see his head.
Yeah, you can see his head.
He looks like he's looking at the screen. That's all you know.
Yeah, he's always laughing. A little
but
chuckle.
You don't want to go too far because you'll see everything else.
Yes.
Which could be nothing. Could be everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what if? Man, I really want to know. Are there receptacles near here, or is he? Is everyone going to town and just?
So they have like a trash can at the end. I don't know. I watched this one Vice episode of. So these 2 women that were reporters, quote unquote, they became strippers at this truck driver stop in the middle of nowhere. So
terrible.
Yeah. But in that instance, I could understand that the truckers are like lonely, they're alone all the time, and they just want some companionship. Not necessarily a stripper, just a female enjoyment of some kind. Mm-hmm. So like I could see a place like this theater working in a place like that where they don't have anywhere to go.
It's out in the open. It's like there's miles and miles of land. This is Nowheresville. Only you people coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense to me.
Basic human needs. Shelter, food, water.
Whacking off.
Whacking off.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, as we call them. At least that's what we called them, the Boy Scouts. Jazz.
Were you in the Boy Scouts? Were you in the Boy Scouts?
No, I never did.
Yeah. Oh, I did. I was in.
Were you an altar boy too?
I did not do the altar boy thing. Did you?
No, I didn't do anything. I was at the least.
Were you public school the first early years?
No, I went to 8 years of Catholic school.
Really?
Yes, I did.
So this
Our Lady of Ransom. Go ahead, look it up, folks.
Perfect transition. This brings me to my one. So last episode you said, like, do you make any posts on Reddit? Do you talk about Reddit at all? Like, what do you say? And so I was like, I changed my feed to look at the top stories of every hour. So I got like fresh stuff all the time. So one of the stories was that Sweden was trying to pass a bill or going to attack. They already closed homeschooling down, so they don't have homeschooling in Sweden. And
You're
now
not allowed to?
You're not allowed to homeschool.
It's illegal?
It's illegal.
It's kind of weird.
That is weird. The next thing is they're trying to close down religious schools. So purely public schools.
So they want everyone to go into the same schools?
Yeah. So I started posting like crazy on this one thread. And I was
was it what kind of in Sweden thread or like a...
It's a worldly thread. So
okay, so everyone. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there's people, you get people from all over the world. So right. I was saying, like, if you're taking away the religious schools, like you're making sure that they don't get an ideology of that religion, but there's an ideology of the state and the school that you're going to be forced to be into. So there's going to be
right. So you're literally not given options.
Yeah.
You're given one option, the state's option, whatever. They choose as a curriculum. They choose as whatever.
Yeah. So people were jumping all over me. They're saying like, the state will provide. It'll give them everything they need, and like people are being like really socialist and dependent about it.
Well, I will stick up for you, but before I do, I want to say 2 things against what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
One is that I was raised super Catholic, super Christian, super whatever. I went to a Christian Brothers high school, actually. And I pretty much laughed at most of the teachers. Like, not laughed at it like, this is ridiculous. I love Satan. But I formed my own opinions. Their bearing didn't really like say, well, you should believe in God. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I better just do that and not think of anything else. Like, no matter what someone taught me, I could think for myself.
I feel that too. I feel like there's certain people that will always free think.
Half of people.
Small minority.
Some people. A tiny minority. Anyway, geniuses. Anyway, I will say that. Maybe you could argue it down to geniuses. Whatever. Yeah. The other thing is, I guess, having a universal curriculum in a state is a good thing in that now there are base low levels, there are base things that have to be covered. Because I think if you claim you go to a religious, evangelical, whatever school, and we don't believe in trigonometry, we don't believe in evolution, we don't believe in, like, they name like 7 things, and you're like, Jesus Christ, these kids aren't going to know half of what the other kids in the public school are going to know. Mm-hmm. Like, there should be a bare minimum, and maybe the public school would have that bare minimum, is all I would say to that.
And I'm not sure.
Saying that's
I'm not sure how high the public school goes, or if these people are trying to make it to college, or what. Because at some point you have some sort of standardized testing, I would assume, that proves that you know what you're supposed to know at that level. But
we're not going to get into who makes standardized tests.
Yeah, because that's a load of crap, too.
Another one.
Yeah. I want to catch them. I'm gonna research that so I can rip them up.
Yeah, do one.
But I pretty much had that same thought, is that I mean, I had the same background as you, and I don't think that I could understand that they allow you to think freely, and maybe people do, people don't. It really pushed me away from religion in a way. So it doesn't make me feel like I should be a certain way. And I could see that for other religions being more forceful. I'm not going to say which ones, not any of the militant ones that like to use explosives. But, I could understand homeschooling because that keeps you around the same people all the time. But if it's like a private school that requires you to have a minimum number of students, or a curriculum that matches a certain, standardized test, you're going to have to teach some things that may allow you to move away from the religion.
True.
So
these are all true things. Now, maybe the job of school isn't, though, religion.
It shouldn't be for or against religion. It should teach all religions, like the world religions class we had.
Sure, I don't disagree with that. So then what's the problem with defunding religious schools? That's a school based on religion.
So it makes them more expensive. I think they're actually, on top of defunding them, they're going to ban them. That's what the plan was. Which is weird because in the United States, there's inner city public schools, which I think I would never go to. Sure. Because I wouldn't want my son to go to the inner city.
You're over 30.
Yeah, luckily. I'll have to go back to high school.
You'd be able to ace most of those. That's most of them.
Yeah, I'll just take my GED and do it again. But you need the other option. Like, if you kill the other option, then you're forcing everyone to be in the same bucket, which if you
there's
fail
something
them,
weird about that.
There were people defending, saying, like, the public schools will provide. Like, they had faith in the public system more so than, people deciding to.
There is also the argument, though, that without the Catholic school there to take away some of the wealthier or smarter or, do you know what I mean? If you say a Catholic school kid is more well-behaved or smarter, or you want them to go to a better school.
Our school was ranked for, our grade point average was a 4, but people added a 1. That's I don't know if that's entirely true, but if you got a 3.0, it was like you got a perfect score in a public school, from what I heard.
That makes sense.
I can understand that because it was kind of hard, and I think ours were shifted. Like the mathematical method was 92 to 100 was an A, right?
Yeah, it was 92.
So I think in public schools, I think it's 90 to 100.
Right. It is. It's 10 points per public.
Yeah, so they go down to 60, where we went down to 70.
What I'm getting at is that all the kids that went to these Catholic schools and higher education grade schools were forced to go to public schools, it would also increase the quality of the public school, wouldn't it?
I don't know, because the independent school, the private school, those people are already still paying taxes. They're just not utilizing the taxes.
No, but I'm saying if they ban them, let's say they ban them, so now all these kids end up in public school. Didn't you just get an influx of pretty smart kids to public school?
So the points in the public school will go up because you move them.
I'm just saying those kids aren't in their own schools by themselves. Right?
I don't know.
They didn't bring public schools down, did they?
I don't know. I don't think they will.
Right.
It's just that you now have to spend the public dollar farther. You have to spread it.
You do, but you're also saving private dollars. Again, I'm not arguing for. I'm just saying this would be the argument in the other direction.
Yeah. There were people that, were adamant that it had to be a certain way or that it was never wrong. And I was just surprised.
There's choice.
And, like, you had people that, like, were rallying to the cause and, like, backing me up. And then, like, slowly, but, like, one by one, they, like, have a one comment that I'm like, yeah. And then the next comment, I'm just like, what the hell are you saying? Why? Like, why do you think that's the way it is? And I don't know. People, on the whole, don't make very much sense. Or they believe too much in the system, or, like...
So did you go up against the gang mentality? And were other people getting more likes, upvotes?
They were, yeah.
See? That's a weird feeling. What did it feel like? Were you like, no, you guys are idiots?
Yeah. I said, I want to pull up what I said, because I said something about, you're removing one option so that you can enforce an ideology. And, like, people read ideology as, like, a religious ideology, but it's like there's another ideology that says you become one with the state and one with your government.
Right, a state has to have its own ideology, I understand.
Yeah. I don't think people read into that far enough to realize what I was saying.
Read it properly.
Well, people definitely didn't read it. They just skimmed it and said, boo, you suck.
I was talking to people about Reddit today. Actually, what Reddit posts do you subscribe to multiple? Do you lurk most of the time, as you say in the biz?
Yeah, whenever I take a dump, I always flip open Reddit and I read all the stories, and then like I think of one that I might respond to, and I think about what I would say, and then I give it like 30 seconds of thought and decide whether or not I'm going to do it.
So you're a once a day commenter, roughly. I don't know. And then if there's an argument, you go into it. I understand that.
After the last one, I posted probably like maybe half a dozen times.
Right. Well, that throws off the average. You were engaged in an argument. I understand that. But usually you lurk, and then if you see something really like, I gotta say it, and then you jump in.
I hate that sometimes there's jokes out there that you really want to nail, and you're about to nail them.
Someone beats you by like a second, and it's like, damn it. Well, Reddit's famous for their puns.
Mm-hmm.
And getting upvoted, and then this, and then there's a pun after the pun, and then usually there's a joke about the pun that's like the third. Yeah, I get it.
It's like what's the breakdown is that they continue the thread of puns, and then they have like a meme, or they do it like a meta.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
What else is there? There's the classic Reddit-a-roo or something, where they switch it around.
Oh, they switch wording around.
Yeah.
Okay, to get the joke. Yeah. There's a joke format that takes there's a precedence, and it's real funny that the upvotes follow that format.
They do.
Like, top one will get the most, and then like it'll be like 1,030 likes or upvotes, and then it's like 870 for the next one, and then it's like around 600 even for the next one, and then you drop to like 310 for the next one, and then there's like 4 in a row that were like 250, and then there's like one for like 14, 14, 14, 8, and then you're like -8, -20. 64.
I think my highest rated comment was like Parks and Rec. They have that one character that was Gary or Jerry or Gergich. You know that guy?
No, maybe I didn't see it. I only saw most of Parks and Rec, so not all of it.
Oh, well, every season they give him a new name because they forget his name. So if ever there's a post about him and someone says what his name is, you always say classic Gary,
has to say
and then classic Jerry. And then classic, whatever his name was. They go for like 6 versions of his different names.
Right. What kind of number did you get?
Oh, I think that was in like this, probably like almost 100 upvotes.
Okay.
I'll take it. Yeah, I know you.
It was only the one comment. I've commented like 5 times. I just got one slam dunk for some reason.
Yeah, and then
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, I want to surpass that, but you have to get on the wave when it starts.
Oh, you have to get lucky. That's all.
Yeah,
timing, luck, and placement.
Yeah,
I got you.
And bots. You have lots of bots that can drop the same comment. There's 10 different stories in the same thing.
Right.
Like the I don't know if
that's
you want
what she said, and then right after that can be like a that's what he said, and then like after that can be like that's what, and then if the story's about a dog, the dog said, like, there's an order for
all those AIs figuring things out.
Well, I guess we did our video game and school episode, didn't we?
Yeah, that was what we planned, right?
That's what we planned, right? All right, so to wrap up this episode, let's just name some really cool video games or interesting video game facts or video games we played or video games we hated. I will say a game that was really cool that no one talks about, Maximum Carnage for Sega.
I never played it, no.
Did you buy a 32X for Sega?
No, I don't think so.
So you bought the Sega.
Is that like Twisted Metal?
Nah, it was a Spider-Man game.
Huh. I'm looking at the screenshots now to judge.
Like you could.
It's like an RPG.
No, side scroller. It looked exactly like.
Rambo?
No, exactly like all the Turtles games, the Simpsons games, the X-Men games.
I had the Turtles game.
Right.
I couldn't beat it for some reason.
Side scrollers.
I don't know what the heck I was supposed to do in the Turtles game. I couldn't get past the one level where you have to go out of the sewers. But
yeah, there was one that was tough for everybody that kept falling down. Yeah,
I don't know. So what about that game you were about to say? Maximum
underrated, Carnage? But 32X. So you bought the Sega system, right? This little black box with you put the cartridge. Right where the cartridge went, there was something shaped like this, like a cartridge. And on top of it was like this weird oval. And you would plug it in, and you could play the 32X games on that. And apparently it made more graphics or something. I guess Sega was a 16-bit system. Was it a 32-bit crossover? You got to look up 32X.
I'm looking at it right now. It's weird because I had the game Genie, but I never went to this.
Well, this wasn't for cheating on games. This is for it made games more graphical or something. I don't even know.
It sounds like bullshit.
It kind of was, but there were games you had to buy with that. I want to say American Graffiti, American History X, American something X. Maybe it came with it.
I'm gonna add bullshit to the end of my search to make sure.
Oh, it was, but may have turned all your games 32-bit. That's all I'm saying. Here's an underrated one that I spent hours playing. Flashback for Sega. Did you ever play that?
No.
There were some games that I loved that were off the beaten path, like not the regular favorites. How about Nintendo Bubble Bobble? Little dinosaurs? I feel like I'm the only one who got to level 100.
Because no one played that game.
5 to 12 levels, and everybody
like Dr.
Cool,
Mario.
No. The best quote I heard about Dr. Mario is that people bought it, everyone thought it was going to be cool, everyone played it for like 5 minutes, but it felt like it was trying to make you learn, so it was bullshit. And nobody really finished it. It was a good quote I heard on Come Town. I think they listen to us. Good podcast.
Come Down?
Come Town.
It's worse.
I guess.
Ever play Sesame Street Main Street?
No.
It was interesting because it was like a carnival, and you do
was there a game part to it?
It was a game, yeah. You'd learn how different words went together. It was a learning game. But
okay.
But I remember that the theme to it, the musical theme, was Bob Seger, Main Street, and that song is about him. Okay. Yeah, it's about him admiring a stripper and not having the courage to talk to her as she was leaving the club.
Interesting. So he really wanted you to talk to strippers.
Yeah, which is my fascination to this
I used to play Ciara, made the game learning-wise. Ciara made it. It was for computers. It was called Turbo something.
Turbo?
Yeah. Just type in Ciara.
Turbo Technics?
Yeah. I played that game nonstop as a kid. It probably was my most influential learning piece because you could measure the volts of anything on the screen, the temperature of anything on the screen, kinetic energy. It would like quiz you science questions, and then you could use those questions for fuel if you got them right to like progress your guy.
Weird. I remember there were like 3 or 4 games, I'm going to say.
Math Blaster sucked.
That's what I was going to say.
Did you?
It did kind of suck.
That?
It was
like a learning game, but it felt like a learning game.
Yeah.
It sucked. And the graphics sucked, and it moved slow. It was just stupid.
Yeah.
And I get it was supposed to make kids learn. I'm sure some dumbass kids learn, but smart kids like us.
Yeah, no, didn't help us. There's I think my mom, she started early. She started by...
Yeah, they try and buy you that crap.
Yeah, she bought...
That was one of the early ones, I'm telling you. What
frog dissection.
Ooh,
it's medical. Both my parents are medically related, so...
It's weird. I can almost picture the box of that game. Is it a white box with a frog and like... I don't know.
You would remember, it's just like the frog laying on its back, and then like
right,
it's sort of like click and drag things out of the frog.
Right, it would tell you where the legs, lungs, arms, are. I never played... I don't think I played the game. I'm trying to picture the box. You used to have to go to computer stores.
Which one did you go to? Kid playing it?
EB, Electronics Boutique.
Oh, EB. Yeah, I remember that one.
Got some EB going.
You buy some Mad Catz controllers from there.
Yeah, I forgot Turbo.
That shitty controller that didn't fit anybody's hands, and the button, like one button didn't work.
I'll tell you a game that everyone loves, Metal Gear Solid, and it's like overrated because everyone loved it, but it really was so good. And I remember you would play Psycho Manus. He's one of the bosses. And he would literally be like, hey, I can control the slot on your PlayStation controller, like the slot 1. He would kind of say that. And then he would say, here, I see you have a memory card there. And he'd be like, you're into racing games. If you ever had like a Gran Turismo save. Like he would tell what your save was. And it would tell you, it would make like, you're big into fighting games or something. And I'd be like, what? And then he'd be like, watch this, I'll make your controller do what I want. And he would just vibrate it. You know what I mean? So every time you went to punch him or shoot at him or do an action towards him, he would teleport and disappear and reappear behind you and throw something at you. And it was like you couldn't hit him. So everyone, I don't know how, because we didn't have the internet at the time, or it was just brand new. It was just you unplug your slot from slot 1 and plug it into slot 2. And he couldn't read your mind. You would just kick his ass. He was like, worthless.
Stand there?
Yeah, he would just be like, why can't I read your mind? And you just kick, punch. Or punch, kick.
That's awesome.
But I was like, that's so, like, games don't do that anymore. The other thing Metal Gear Solid did was, you would contact the colonel on a frequency and, like, talk to him. And he's like, contact Merrill. I forget our frequency. It's on the back of the game box. And he'd be like, what? And everyone would pause the game, and like you had to find the box you bought the game on to find her frequency. And I was like, what the hell? Why didn't you just tell me?
Yeah,
like shit like that. I
like
enjoyed
Indy 500. It asked you questions from the manual to allow you to play it.
Literally to make sure you purchased it legally.
The game, yeah, which is bullshit. That's garbage, man.
So you hated that game.
What I played of it was actually pretty innovative at the time. Okay. It's like you could crash and like all the pieces could fall apart of your car. And the crashes were actually like slow-mo. They were like Burnout Paradise back in the 90s.
Paradise was the best crashing game ever. I'm surprised they didn't make another one, or it didn't. There hasn't been a game since then.
There's no more?
That. No, nothing will ever match it. Make sure that's not my.
I'm looking now to see. They stopped at Burnout Paradise, and then they made a Burnout Paradise remastered this year.
Yeah, I'm thinking of buying it, but Paradise isn't even the same as
They just have Burnout Crash, which is a spin-off.
No, what's the Burnout? Is there a Burnout before that? Rampage?
Revenge.
What is it?
Revenge, Takedown, Point of Impact.
Revenge, dude. A Takedown.
How do you stop making... Because the Burnout Paradise game, I remember that's the only one I played out of that series, and it was so good, yeah.
I don't know why they didn't just, because usually these games are poured out, like they're like Burnout Revenge.
It's the same
Burnout
engine. You just
Paradise.
copy
Right.
paste it.
Right. So I don't know why they don't just up the graphics. They didn't for some reason.
And the graphics were amazing. Same thing with like, Need for Speed hoard itself out, right?
Yeah. Oh, they still make games, I believe. I almost bought one with my kid the other day, and I was like, he's gonna not care in 10 minutes. I just spent $30. So.
Yeah, there's 24 Need for Speed games.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And they all released every year or every other year.
The Need for Speed 3 or 4 was the first one where like you could run from cops. I thought that was really cool. That like started the whole
Hot Pursuit.
Hot Pursuit.
Yeah. I remember I had that on, I had one of the earlier ones, Need for Speed, that didn't have the cops, I don't think.
Yeah, that was in 1 or 2.
It was a PlayStation, and like the disc was scratched. So every now and then I'd go around a turn and it would just like freeze and I'd glitch out. I'd like try to adjust to the glitching and it would just totally F me up. But it made it really challenging. It's like
kind of like my games.
Scratch. Need for Speed Scratch.
Another good one. Did you ever play Silent Hill?
That's one I always wished I played because back then it actually could fuck with your mind.
Yeah, that was really scary. You had to die in the beginning of the game. But they didn't tell you.
You had to die? You just like tried to not to die for a long time and then...
You had a big open space to run around in, and you needed to die.
How did that? They stopped making those, didn't they?
They went up to 3 or 4. That's when I fell off the boat. I think 4.
Well, actually, they went to 8 games plus spin-offs. So they went pretty
lost
far.
me at 4. I think 4 is when they transferred to a new system.
I think they had like a new mastermind to it.
That's very possible.
I don't think they made anything new since like Xbox
Okay, that makes sense.
360.
Like, did you like any sports games better than others?
I don't know. Well, we started an era where the sports games were manipulative beyond. I mean, they were obviously to like a 12-year-old me. I was just like, this game's bullshit. Like immediately, like when you're not hitting home runs, every pitch is a strike, and then you can't like sink a bat. I played every sports game. I played every single one. I think my dad probably bought them, and there's no message there. There's no message there. So he like I played
none that got home.
Yeah, and I swear, like the most frustrating thing was like not being able to do anything while the other team scored like crazy on you to catch up because you would beat them early on. I remember taking out...
Nothing is worse than a sports game where a bullshit interception or a bullshit goal or a... Good. Sorry.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So I remember taking one of my dad's hammers, pulling a game out of the Sega Genesis and just hammering it. And those cartridges were made like they were made out of steel, man. They're hard to kill.
What was it, 64?
Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis.
Oh, Sega?
They're impossible to destroy.
You hit that. You could do it.
After I didn't get it, I threw it out the window, and I forgot about it for a day. I went back outside. I'm like, oh, it's still here. I plugged it in. It still worked.
Damn.
It's like that thing.
You couldn't do that with a PlayStation game, I'll tell you that.
Those things shattered like nobody's business. Yeah. Put it in a microwave.
Oh, yeah, they would spark up. I forgot about that. So I was just thinking the best sports game was NFL Blitz.
Yeah, it still holds up because it's still entertaining even if it's effing you over.
Dude, it was just because you could just... I would do a zero blitz where no one was hanging in the backfield and all players were running at the quarterback at full speed.
Yeah.
And I could get to the quarterback 75% of the time, so why do anything else?
Yeah, you give them one play to actually figure things out and maybe beat you.
Maybe, whatever. Who cares?
It's like Madden. Always stacking your lines, making the inhuman massive guy or the fastest guy or the...
Madden, again, when they tried to be more realistic, they ended up being more bullshit. They're like...
Uninteresting.
Right, and it's the passing feature of the game that became bullshit.
It felt too sticky.
Throw it.
Yeah.
Well, you would throw it, and like, if there was a jump button, I remember what year they stopped this, but there was a jump button, so you would have to time the jump button, and almost no matter what, your guy would just jump with his hands straight in the air, and the ball would kind of just hit you no matter what you did. And then just like, all of a sudden, somehow the defender had it, and like the field would turn. And I'd be like, God damn it! It's bullshit.
That's where you wish you had Brian Dawkins just to nail the guy getting the interception.
Kill that guy.
That should just be like a murder button. Like either they score or you, like that guy's dead.
Right. Like, do you take on this person's family? And will you show up at the funeral and blah, blah, blah? It's like, I don't care. Yeah, take him out. Kill him.
5 minutes of showing you the funeral because you chose that button.
Press X to pay respects. Do you remember that?
No.
That's like the best. You don't know about press X to pay respects?
I don't.
So, one of the Call of Duty games, and I think it's one of the ones we played, in single-player mode, one of your best friends dies in war or something, and like you watch them die, it's like sad. Here, do press X to pay respects. Just type that in. Did it show up?
I didn't type what you said. Yeah.
Press X to pay respects.
I see. Oh, it's loading.
What game? Say what game?
Call of Duty. Just part of series Call of Duty. Blah, blah, blah. Advanced Warfare. So there's a casket there.
Yeah, so one of your best friends dies in front of you or whatever, and as a single-player game, they make you attend the funeral. So you're looking through your eyes, and like everyone's wearing suits and somber, and then it comes to you in the game freezes, and it's like, press X to pay respects. I always thought that was great. They make you pay respects to someone who's dead. But anyway, it's a popular meme out there. Like, press X to pay respect. That's so good. Whoever thought that up, whatever designer, whatever, you're a genius. Are you watching the video?
I'm trying to. None of the memes are.
Do they say different things instead of pay respect or stuff? Usually they change a word. I mean, you know.
Well, there's one that looks like there's like Destiny in the background. The guy's holding like $100. There's Mountain Dew and Doritos in there. Okay. I don't even know. And there's a guy at the end of the casket in like a wheelchair. I don't even understand. Maybe that was a timely meme that I missed.
Yeah, sometimes they're very, very specific.
Oh, I get it. They changed it to like EA's on the picture, and it says press X to pay respects for $19.99.
Oh, when they did the microtransactions, they got in trouble. They got busted for it. Yeah, that's good. It's good. Memes are good, man.
Oh, the internet.
The internet's good and bad, but enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, I think that covers almost everything. Every
million more games, but yeah.
Yeah. Shit. I have to remember to bring it up, and I have this one topic that I wanted to bring up multiple times, but I keep forgetting about it.
You gonna bring it up now?
I don't know if it's appropriate.
No, save it. Although, don't forget it.
It's a lot of trust. My pressure. I don't know if I could survive under the pressure.
In the episode, whisper it to me. Whisper it to me now.
That'll ruin your reaction.
Oh, that's true. Text it to me, but don't press send.
No. Here you go. I'll just say it. I'll say it.
Good. Oh, jeez. Good.
So, I don't know if I do it. I don't know.
Man, now you gotta check to see if it's right.
I want to see when it started. Because if it started in a certain time frame, then it's not going to come up in our. It's right around that. This is the juicy bit. Okay, I'm going to save it for later. I'll save it for later.
Save it.
And remind me that thing I forgot I was going to say.
Okay, I'll try to remember that. All right, folks. We're done with games. We're done with schools. We're done with indoctrinating your kids.
Yeah. Make sure they're built for the future.
Make sure they're going to public school. And don't get your shots.
Yeah, don't allow them to free think.
No. Don't get their shots because that's diseases and stuff.
All those
what are they called?
Anti-vaccines getting pumped into you.
Yeah, don't get your vaccines, folks. Send them to public schools without vaccines. They'll be fine. Just forge some signatures. Everyone else is vaccinated. Is your kid afraid of polio?
Asterisks. There's going to be an asterisk on this one. Verbal asterisks. You have to listen to after the show. I'm going to say.
Vaccinate your goddamn kids.
You idiots.
You morons. Yeah. We made a cure, you idiot.
Polio? Oh, that's coming back? Yeah, because of these morons.
But really, what's the deal against the vaccinated kids?
I don't think it does anything. I think your kid's just crippled. I'd rather not have a crippled kid, so he gets the vaccine for polio. I mean,
no, but I'm saying, so a non-vaxxer sends their kid to your school. What's the downside to your kid?
They have to press X to pay respects.
It's your kid's turn. Take off his hat, does this, and then slowly, like jerkily, puts it back on.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
Well, folks, we sure do like you.
We like it quite a bit.
We like you a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Unpanners. Hope you had a good time. We hope our 10-minute episode that we're going to do, a 15-minute episode.
Yep, 15 minutes.
We hope it didn't keep you too long.
Have
Keep listening, keep interacting, keep doing something, and keep something. Tell us your favorite video game. We're going to ignore it. Tell us your worst game. We're going to ignore it.
Yep. Focus on your socials.
Focus on our socials.
Yeah. Well, let's connect our socials together.
All right. Let's social up. Thanks, folks.
Good night.